If you just recently entered the NFT space and you want to orient yourself, the path to navigate through all these projects is about as clear as the air in this room. Actually, this feels more appropriate. But luckily today, we're gonna shine some light on some of these categories that you can start exploring. If you're new to NFTs, it can get very overwhelming quite fast. What you're gonna have to do eventually is get into some of these apps and do it yourself. But to start off, it might help if I guide you through this and if we look at some of these projects together. First off, CryptoPunks. You can't talk about NFTs without mentioning CryptoPunks. They're considered the first profile picture collection, and that's why they hold immense value. They were first. They pioneered this. 10,000 items, profile pictures, various traits, and every single one of them is unique. A fun fact about these would be that when they came out in mid-2017, they cost nothing. You could claim them for free to your wallet for quite a while. But if you want to get a little deeper into this, which I would strongly recommend, there's a podcast episode that I'll link in the description below, where the two founders of the CryptoPunks talk about their intentions back in 2017. This might just help you identify the next project that is going to pioneer a completely new category. Moving on. Bored Ape Yacht Club. I know we talked about this a bunch in the last video, but I want to add one more thing. So as we mentioned, the teams behind these projects work a lot to deliver you extra value. What the Bored Ape Yacht Club did here is you just woke up one day and you had a so-called mutant serum in your wallet. Every ape holder got one for free and you got to apply it to your ape. And this is what you got, the so-called mutants. Now, aren't these insane? I love this art. Just for holding an ape, you got one of these for free and you could immediately sell it for about 4 ETH floor price at that point. So yeah, that's just another example of what you can do with just a profile picture. Next up, let's have a look at membership passes. So because the ownership of an NFT is provable, by holding it in your wallet, you can prove to someone that you're actually holding it. And some people use this mechanic to issue membership passes. For example, recently right here, a YouTuber called GRNY issued 10,000 of these passes.
Things are looking very bullish.
And he sold them for an average price of around 1.3 ETH, which means he roughly made 46 million in 2 days. So why would people pay for this? It's essentially all future promises. And because this big YouTuber puts his name behind it,
Big thank you for all of the support.
people trust him. They've been receiving content from him regularly in a while, and he's been bringing them consistent results. So why not put their future expectations into him too? It kind of makes sense. Let's have a look at another membership pass that exists here. So this one is called the VFriends. If you've ever been on social media, you probably ran across his face at some point. But what he did here is he doodled pictures, and this is a perfect example of why sometimes the art does not matter at all. Gary Vee created this collection to represent the membership inside of his club. The club he calls VFriends, and you get several advantages. So if you consult the website here, you get into some really interesting use cases. So because he's a big social media personality, people value his time and his appearances. So he sells that. So for example, if you hold the podcast Panther, Gary Vee will join your podcast for an exciting 40-minute guest experience. Additionally, each one of these holders gets access to the so-called VCon, a convention that he's gonna be putting on every single year. Only way to get in, hold one of the NFTs. Interesting, right? But wait till you hear about this. Gary offers 5 scholarship NFTs here, which means you gain access to scholarship with Gary directly. He offers you 5 45-minute mentor sessions over the course of 1 year, and also 30 hours of mentoring sessions with his network. And you also have a chance to become an intern at his company. And now we're about to enter one of my favorite parts. Digital land. Now right off the bat, let's talk about the obvious question. How can there be digital land? There's only physical land, right? Not entirely. If you program a world while creating it, you get to say, okay, it's gonna be this by this large, and there's only ever gonna be this many plots. Then you can go ahead, tokenize those plots, and sell them as an NFT. That's exactly what the Central Land is doing here. So this is the first playable metaverse. While very limited in its functionality, it's out there and it kind of works. So right here, you see all the plots that you can purchase on the map. But rather than me telling you about this, let's just jump into the Central Land and look at what it looks like in practice. Just get started. Super simple. I say I connect my wallet. And after a little bit of loading time, here we go. So this is kind of your starting point right here, and you can run around and you can pick one of these experiences that are happening. So let's just look into one of these museums. And here we are, this is the museum. We'll go inside in a second, but let me just show you the map. These are the plots that we were looking at, right? And each one of these is theoretically available to buy. So yeah, you could look around what's available. And if a friend of yours owns one of these, you can just hop into it at any time and you can hang out there. But back to the use cases, and admittedly, there's not many. One of them is setting up a 3D NFT gallery. So you get kind of a building where you can put your NFTs and show them off. And while that's pretty cool, this is not the killer use case most people are looking for when they think of the metaverse. But luckily there's more. Let's check out online poker in a metaverse. After about 2 minutes of loading time, we get to see what's going on here. There's a bunch of tables and you can play at them if you buy one of the wearables that they sell. So yeah, this would be an online metaverse casino. And if you decide to buy one of these wearables, you would get to participate in one of the poker games. But let's look at something we can actually do here. So yeah, this would be another casino, and here you can actually play blackjack. Okay, so we bet 250, let's see what we get. A round of blackjack. That's actually double. Nice. And we win. So yeah, that's that. Maybe I'll just give you a little overview of what's going on here. There's some kind of stage happening here. And a bunch of people gambling their hard-earned money in the metaverse. Isn't that just beautiful to see? Gotta give it to them. These Pepe dealers are quite amazing. More tables, roulette, and that's that. There's a few more things. Some people build small games. And on a more exciting note, there was actually a festival happening a few weeks ago. And I gotta say, when I met up with a bunch of friends in there, it was quite cool to be at a live music event in the metaverse, but it is nothing compared to a real party where you feel the crowd's energy and the sound and visual system is just on a different level. Here you're just staring into screen and it's kind of cool to see, but after 10 minutes you're kind of like, I've seen better. But I think the more interesting part here is what this could become one day. This is kind of a very simple preview, and I hope this gave you more of a sense of what is possible today. So next up, my personal favorite, gaming. So no proper games are developed yet. Most things that are live right now are some variation of a card game. So the most popular one would be Axie Infinity, but today we're actually going to be looking at a second one. This is a card game, and I just wanted to show you what's possible inside of this game. And I'm actually planning a full video on this where I dive into all the different functions so you can get an understanding of what play to earn can be one day. And trust me when I tell you, it can be a whole lot. Today we'll just look at the market. So this is a card-based game where you set up your team and then you fight your opponent's team. They have a ranked elo system as they have in chess and much more. But when you look at the market, here you get to buy and sell the various cards. And not just that, you get to rent them too. So you really get to exploit your assets here. You get to play with them or you get to rent them out. And if you're happy with the price you get, you can sell them. And you'd be surprised how liquid this market is. With this game, we're looking at around 400,000 active players. And look at these cards, they go for like $1,000 a piece. And the funny thing is, to play them at the highest level, you need 11 pieces. And this is just a summoner. You're gonna need another 5 cards to actually play a deck. So yeah, this is insanely expensive, but I just wanted to show you that NFTs could take also this form. This is actually running on the Hive blockchain, which means it's very centralized and you get to do a lot of transactions per second and they cost nothing. So when you buy a card, sell a card, play games, claim your rewards, all that costs you nothing in fees. So yeah, if I play a quick match here, you will see that all of this is actually working on a blockchain and I can create my team here. I pick my summoner, pick some monsters, and off we go into the battle. But unfortunately, because blockchain gaming is so slow these days, all you get to do here, you press rumble, and then the game resolves itself according to its rules. I won. And what happened now is the transaction got recorded on the blockchain and I get rewarded with these tokens and a rating. Now I'm higher up the ladder and I have some coins that I could immediately switch to dollars. So this one win that took me about 2 minutes time would represent about 33 cents. If you multiply that by 30, you're making around $10 an hour. That's better money than you could make in a lot of third world countries. But yes, I do have quite a collection size here, which allows me to make this much, but at the higher levels, you can make even much more. So yeah, as you can see, blockchain gaming right now, very simple. But just wait until the big game studios come in and allow you to play their big games with the same mechanics as here. There's gonna be marketplaces where you're gonna own your players, own your equipment, own your potions, you're gonna own your cosmetic adaptations, and you got to trade all of them. And not just that, just like here, you're gonna be able to rent them out while you don't want to use them. Maybe you're going on a 1-month vacation, a trip around the world. You're just gonna rent out all your Fortnite skins to other players that actually want to use them right now. And if you have enough assets in a game, you might be even able to finance your travels with it one day. Looking at one of my personal favorites, Miranda's over here, they're trying to build the first MMORPG that is really native to blockchain. And very roughly speaking, what is happening here is they're selling land and then they're selling buildings. So there's going to be an entire world that is going to be populated by players with scarce resources and monsters all around. But in the entire world, all the land is actually owned by the players. And then the buildings on top of the land are owned by the players too. Which means if you took out your character for an adventure and now you want a good night of sleep to regenerate your stats, you're going to have to go to the local inn. And the in-game money that you're going to spend on sleeping in that inn is going to go to the owner of that building and partially to the person that has the land that the building is on top of. Now, of course, that's probably far out. But if you think about it, if you own land here and you own some of these buildings, then all the people that want to play the game will have to go through you. And for doing that, they will pay you. And some of these ecosystems, I'm not saying this one in particular, but some of these ecosystems are going to spawn a whole new class of online metaverse multi-billionaires. They're going to be owning big parts of these game economies and making decisions that are going to affect millions, maybe hundreds of millions of people worldwide. But the fact remains that 1 month in NFTs is kind of like a year in real life. So all of this might move way faster than we think it is. Last but not least, not everything can be put into a clear-cut box like land or gaming or profile picture projects. Some projects really try to innovate and they bring new mechanics to the table that then many others copy. One of those examples would be CyberKongs with their bananas. So for holding one of these Genesis Kongs, where the cheapest one right now is 80 ETH, you're receiving 10 bananas a day.
Banana.
10 bananas a day? What are you talking about? They issue their own token called Banana and it gets distributed on a daily basis to all Genesis CyberKong holders. What's the point of all that? Well, first of all, it has its value. You could just sell your bananas every single day and the value was actually above $100 for a while here. So you're getting $1,000 of passive income just for holding one of these NFTs. But the funny thing is most of these people are not selling the bananas because the bananas allow you to do a lot. For example, if you have enough bananas, you can breed one of these baby Kongs and the baby Kongs have a 5.2 floor price. Now, why would anybody want these baby Kongs? This project sits on top of one of the most desirable discords in the entire NFT space. They have a collection of bright minds in the NFT space that share their thoughts inside of their gated discord. And the only way to get in there is if you buy one of these baby Kongs or one of the Genesis Kongs. And that's why it works. Now I would like to conclude this with the fact that every single one of these projects actually has a Discord behind it. And the Discord is going to be the place where you're going to get all the announcements, all the news, and you're going to meet the community that is actually behind the projects. All the holders hang out in the Discord and you get to hop in there and chat with them. So that's what I would recommend you to do if you want to explore this space further. Now I've been building my own NFT project over the last few months here too. And we have a Discord. So if you have any questions, just feel free to hop into the Discord. Links in the description below. And me or anyone from the team will be happy to help you out with any of your questions regarding NFTs. Now you know what an NFT is and you know about the different categories of NFTs, but how do you know what to look at? And that's exactly what the next video is going to be about. See you soon.
Check it out.